Put your red shirt on and a brown coat too. Everybody joining the crew. We got just one drink that we rule them all. Hope you remember your thoughts. Get your Uru fingers and your needler guns. A sonic screwdriver or a sword plus one. Usually when still it will get you to come. To the big tank. To the big tank. The Rocky Mountain big tank.
Hi, I'm Troy,
Hi, I'm Alex.
and this is Rocky Mountain Geek Tank, and this is where I would normally say the something sized podcast. So the minus guy sized podcast, I guess, actually is what it is now.
We're 33% smaller.
Yes. So due to who knows what? Oh, and cheers! Yeah, I'm raising my coffee, my non-alcoholic beverage to your alcoholic beverage.
Margarita.
Yeah, since it's Geek Tank after hours, now with 100% more alcohol.
And 100% less pants.
And 100% less pants. Well, yeah, I am wearing shorts, and shorts aren't pants, so
You're right. I
that
also
would
wear
be-
shorts. Fine.
it's still not pants, so
Ah.
we are not lying. Oh, cool. Yeah, guy had other obligations. I kind of think he forgot we were doing a nighttime show at some point and committed to something, and then remembered. And then when we reminded him, he remembered, and then had to bow out. But no biggie. We are here. This will be our regular time for however long, I guess, we can do night times, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock Rocky Mountain Standard Time. So yeah, we did not have a topic in mind, so I just quickly slapped in what's happening that's geeky in June, and there are a lot of geeky shows starting up, coming back. Did you ever watch any of the Orville, or know what that is?
No.
Okay,
On both counts.
no, totally fine. It had been gone. Let's see, how long has it been missing? Oops, I am in the wrong spot here. There we go. So I want to say it's been a while. So they're in season 3 now, and that will be coming out. Actually, it already came out June 2nd, so a few days ago on Hulu. But it's written by Seth MacFarlane, same guy who did Family Guy and not so great movies. But the surprising thing is, it's kind of like his love letter to Star Trek, and it's in the flavor of Galaxy Quest.
Okay.
So it's more comedy than it is serious to start out with like the first couple of episodes, and it actually gets more of a good balance. So it's a lot of fun, especially if you're into Star Trek. I think it's a good love letter to them the way he does it, and it's a good production value, good comedy. And I closed that part. I'm glad you're waving. Hey, Brent. So, but yeah, they were on Fox for the first 2 seasons, and then Fox, as always, canceled them. And now they're over on Hulu, so their other one is starting up. But I really enjoyed it, more so actually than a lot of the new Star Trek stuff. But
Cool.
I'm only a so-so Star Trek fan, especially compared to Guy, who is.
Yeah. He's a Star Trek super fan. I am also a so-so Star Trek fan. I have not watched. I think the only Star Trek series I've watched every episode of was season 1 of Picard. Because I know I've missed episodes of TNG and TOS and DS9 and all that, so it's all good.
Yeah, most of Next Gen and all of Deep Space Nine were the ones that I'd watched, and mainly because that's what was on when Tara and I were in college. So when we would hang out, we'd watch it together.
That's cool.
But yeah, there's also they just June 3rd, their first 3. Is it 3 or 4? It's like 3. The first 3 episodes for the current season of The Boys came out, and I watched them all last night.
Right.
So The Boys is not for anyone that's even slightly squeamish.
Right. It is an Ennis property after all.
Yes, it is, and I like it way more than the treatment that they did for The Preacher, for the live action.
Yeah, Preacher was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different showrunners and different network and all that. Yeah, Preacher was terrible. The Boys I've watched the first 2 seasons of, so
Oh, well, I assumed you liked it enough since you sat through season 2.
Yeah.
That
No, it's good. Yeah. Preacher, my wife. Preacher is my wife's favorite comic, and so we watched the show, and it was like this. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, it's like sort of started like a 7, and then it went down to like a 3, and it went back to a 5, and then back down to a 3, then to like a 6 for the season finale. We're like, we're done. We're never watching this show ever again.
Yeah, Brent, there's definitely well, there's more blood in it at the moment, but I do remember there being a fair amount of blood in the first 2 seasons. So, but yeah, the boys. I've read the comic, of course, long before the series came out, and I really enjoyed it. But unlike the Preacher, the changes they've made in the boys from the comic, I really like all the changes they've made because they make sense.
Right.
Without giving away any spoiler stuff, for instance, the Wonder Woman character, Maeve, they made her more of a pivotal character in the TV series and less of a backdrop character, which is the way the comic book kind of had it.
Cool. Yeah, I've never read the comic, so.
Yeah, after seeing the series, I don't know if I can recommend the comic because the series is just so much better.
No, you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Cowboy Bebop live action is better in every way than animated, except for the action. Fight me.
I've actually seen very little animated Bebop, so I saw all of the live action and enjoyed it. The first one kind of had me on the
first one's the weakest.
It is. And I'm glad that Tara and I were like, well, let's give one more episode a try. And and then it was like, hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we really enjoyed the original anime, and then we almost always, unless something's like really just face slappingly idiotic or bad, we will almost always give something 2 or 3 episodes. If it's on our own, sometimes if we have friends who are really into something, we'll give it like 5 or 6. Notable things that I watched the first 5 or 6 episodes of, then dropped like a hot rock. Lucifer, fight me. Also, what else was there? There was Agents of Shield. Thumbs down, thumbs down.
And there's a lot of episodes per season in those, so it's hard.
We had some friends. I think one of them was Guy, who's like, "Oh, you need to watch Agents of Shield." So we watched like the first 6 episodes. Like, this show is like crap on toast. I don't know. What do you see in this show? You need to wait till they tie it into Winter Soldier around episode 18. We're like, no, we don't. We gave it 5 hours. We're not giving it another 10. Thanks.
Yeah, it didn't hold me, which is a shame because I like the actors in it. It's just writing wasn't that good.
Yeah, exactly. We were like, no.
I recently watched one episode of a series and I was like, man, I want to like this, but I can't. I had to look it up.
Was it?
I can't remember. I couldn't remember the name. It's the Pentaveret. It's on Netflix. I never heard of it, but it has Michael Key in it, who I really like.
Yeah.
And it has Mike Myers in it. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And what's weird is I don't know if it was 30 or 40 minutes. I don't remember how long the episode was. It had moments where I'm like, this is a really good show. And then they would put in this joke that's just stupid, like Sasquatch pooping in a hallway. And I'm like, wait. Did the writers go on lunch and they're like 12-year-old sons and come in and write this segment? And then because it's deeper overarching plot I thought was really cool, but there was just too many stupid jokes in it along the way. And Tara and I, after watching, I'm like, man, I want to like it, but I don't know if I could sit through another episode because I feel cheated. Oh yeah, Altered Carbon. That's one that I didn't dislike season 2. It's just something didn't hook me, and I just haven't gotten back to it. But I have the intentions of getting back to it. I really liked Altered Carbon season 1.
Yeah, I haven't seen Altered Carbon, but I've read the first 2 books. Oh. And I can see how it'd be really difficult to pull that off in live action. Like when I saw that Altered Carbon was a show and was live action, I'm like, I don't know about that. I think you really need to do that animated so that way you can have the internal voice always be the same actor. And then it'd also be easier to sit there and like coach people to talk like that person animated wise. But that's just my kind of, pulling it out of my butt. But yeah, no, I saw that it was all live action. I'm like, I don't know about that, because you can animate mannerisms and stuff probably easier than you can. Like, okay, actor, make you don't get to act; you get to act like that guy in the first season
Hmm.
for continuity. So
Yeah, not reading the book, I didn't have that premise to go off of, and it's yeah, it's and they being the way it is, of course, it's almost more of an anthology if you consider it for actors because
yeah,
you have a different actor each time.
hmm
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's yeah. So I don't know about that now. What we have been watching recently is that I decided to get back into Stranger Things. And
ah,
you're right, Troy. I think I'm through the part where they have to do stupid things to make the plot go forward in season 2.
right.
So I think we're good.
Okay.
Um, but then like I've been showing Twin Peaks to some friends of ours, and we started with episode 1 pilot, and we just finished Fire Walk with Me, which even with the deleted scenes edited back into it, not that I would know anything about that, of course, is that it is still an unremittingly bleak film. And so we, as a palate cleanser, we decided to go ahead and watch a rewatch for me and new for them, Castlevania, the TV series. So,
Hmm.
and I realize that Castlevania is one of those very few shows that I can go back and rewatch immediately. The other two being the aforementioned Twin Peaks and the Venture Brothers. Yeah, Big Bang Theory. I hate that show.
Yeah.
I have always hated that show.
Yeah, we back when I guess it had been maybe a year or two when it was out. A mutual friend of ours, Darcy, had recommended it to me.
Yeah.
She's like, "I think you'll like this show," and I watched it. And first of all, I have a pet peeve against laugh tracks,
Mm-hmm.
and even if it's a so-called live studio audience, I know they're all being cued when to laugh. And so it rubs me the wrong way with laugh tracks, and right away, so it already had me against it for that. And then after watching a few episodes, I'm like, oh, this isn't jokes for geeks. This is jokes about people who aren't geeks trying to make jokes about
This
geeks.
is jokes for normies.
Yeah, it's punching down normies,
kicking
out
down
there.
to
Yeah.
geeks and nerds, and that was my big deal. Like I watched a few episodes, and I'm like, I don't like this show. I see what this is doing. And then of course they're like, no, the showrunners are like, no, Sheldon isn't autistic. No, he's just himself, even though he has all these earmarkers for autism. It's like, fuck you.
Oh man, I forgot to. I need to make a warning now that we're a nighttime show for people, but they'll figure it out. We're a nighttime show now, so
Swearing,
the swearing will
boozing.
happen.
I've had a great week of and I'm beaten and battered, and it is beer o'clock. So here we go.
Nice, like a fish. So, and for those watching, we are past the celebration point. That was what occurred to me as a topic: celebrations. So, post happy birthday to Alex. As you were saying, you're 26 years old now.
Well, I think yeah, we have an R rating, hard R. Well,
Yes.
not hard R, soft R. But then yeah, no, because I think I heard through the grapevine that guy was like, Alex thinks he's 20 years old again. And I'm like, I'm not 20 years old again. I was way crazier at 20.
Huh.
I'm like 26 right now. Give me a few more months. I'll be like 24. It'd be perfect.
I hadn't heard that. What a weird thing to say. That's the other thing we're going to talk about, guys. So if that comes,
Because
up,
I'm
we can
awesome.
talk about him.
He was too scared of my awesomeness.
No.
You know, jumping over, tennis nets and just, still having tons of energy after like training. But I mean, yeah, I'm
Nice.
great, dude.
Something.
Oh, look at those bruises I never had noticed yet.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I'm all bruised and battered.
I don't know if mine shows up or not. No, it's too much light.
Yeah.
Let's see if I. Oh, there. Wait. Oh, you can kind of make out the outline.
Yeah, a little bit. I see it.
That was from knife fighting. I think that was from Eli. It could have been Greg, but I'm pretty sure it was Eli. What I'm glad to know is that my pain threshold's still really good because, of course, I didn't even notice it. And then when I saw it, I'm still like, what is that? Oh, it's a mark from that.
Yep.
But I'd forgotten how much I love knife fighting.
It's fun, man.
It is.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was hanging out with Greg and Eli after the party and everything. They're like, we didn't fight you, Alex. I'm like, seems like y'all didn't just decide to step on up. We didn't know. I'm like, dude, you guys were there watching me. Anybody could come up and challenge me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say something like, let me finish this drink or let me hit the head. I go ahead and fight them. So this is really on you.
Mm-hmm. No, I saw you sword fighting. I'm like, what? We've sword
I
fought
fought a bunch of
before.
people.
I know. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. If you switch to knives, I'll jump in.
Uh, I'm going to use the 3-foot long knife, Troy. That's
No,
my knife.
that's called a sword.
Oh, correct.
But yeah.
Anyway,
So
so I had my 46th birthday on Saturday, and I had a really great week leading up to it. I've actually had a really great few months, several weeks to 2.5, 3 months, and not slowing down,
cool.
not stopping. So yeah.
Yeah, I've always tried to advocate people should celebrate their birthdays because
Yeah.
I've known enough people who don't want to tell anybody that they have a birthday coming up.
Don't look behind you. Oh God.
It's Stranger Things. Someone's trying to tell me something. Okay, it was just that one light bulb.
All right.
I was just making sure it wasn't like a wave of power shortage going through and the computer was going out next.
Right.
But I like my brother was one of those who never wanted to let anybody know he had a birthday coming up. And I'm like, really, you're a cool person. You should celebrate it, and people want to celebrate your birthday with you. So why keep it a secret? And some people just don't want to be reminded that they're getting older, I guess.
Whatevs.
But yeah, it's like it's not going to stop it from happening.
Reality does not care whether or not you acknowledge it.
Yep.
Oh, so and one thing also I wanted to just go back to the jokes. Yeah, I mean, the thing about comedy is like the art form that ages the fastest and almost always ages the worst. So even if like good comedy that you like, you know, you can go back and be like,
Yep. Guess Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm.
But even so, it's like that brings to mind like I've heard people say or like write like you couldn't make Blazing Saddles today, and the actual thing is you couldn't make Blazing Saddles today because no one would watch it because it's not that funny anymore.
Right.
It's like you can still make transgressive comedy. I mean, see Sorry to Bother You, see Jojo Rabbit. Okay, you can still make really great stuff, but those goalposts are always moving super fast.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who says you can't do it, they're just being little pathetic whiners.
Yeah.
Fight me. Come on, I'm down from 230 to 213. You know, I don't have as much mass behind my punches. It'd be easy to take me out. Cool.
Yeah, because it's all about weight.
Yeah.
But yeah, celebrations. It's one of those things that I think it that creates a tradition that I think is important because it gives you those. It helps remind people, I think, and gives people that gripping thing of it's about the moments and the experiences. It's not so much about the material aspects of things. And I feel growing up, being poor, not quite getting that, and focusing more on material things and not so much the moment.
Yeah, and from a personal perspective, just having had my birthday, I've been thinking about, you know, where have I been? Where am I? Where am I going? And been very self-reflective. Yeah, I still have a lot of shortcomings, but I also have a lot of shortcomings that are no longer there or really tangible, which is great. So, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I haven't seen Barbara Men and Enticed since it came out.
I don't know if I was just in a bad mood when I saw that one because I saw it in the theater, but it didn't grab me. And I remember thinking, I think I don't like Mel Brooks' stuff anymore.
Did not hit.
Didn't hit for me. The people I was with really liked it, so I figured it was just me.
Right.
Because Young Frankenstein's always been my favorite of his.
Oh yeah, I have watched that. It's been several years, but I have watched that more recently.
Mm-hmm. His son, Max Brooks, wrote the book Zombicide Survival Guide and World War Z, which got turned into a movie with Brad Pitt. But
yeah, I remember. I've not read the book, nor have I seen the movie, but I am aware of it.
I haven't read all the book. The book is more of an anthology from each person's reporting from around the world, but they didn't want to try that with the movie. So with the movie, they made it just one person's perspective.
The central character.
The central character traveling the world. Yeah. So, But yeah, I thought it was really cool because I'd actually read because the zombie survival guide's written tongue in cheek and very funny, like don't use a flamethrower on a zombie because now instead of having a zombie coming at you, you have a flaming zombie coming at you,
Yeah.
and they might get into your munitions, and then everything goes to hell from there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very funny, and I didn't realize it was his son that had written it until after I'd already read it.
Oh, Brent says he wants you to fight him.
No, well, I can't argue with that. In name only, it's true. I mean, I think the zombies reacted and responded kind of the same way, and they had the same weakness that they have in the book. But yeah, it might as well have been a different. It's like somebody's inspired by the book World War
So
Z.
is the zombies' weaknesses in the book and movie that they need a bone?
No, that'd probably be some other movie.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what happens. Licensing and adaptations and stuff. I mean, it happens.
Yeah. So I turned my screen off. I don't think it's this month, so I was trying to come back. I know that the Amazon pre-Lord of the Rings thing is supposed to be coming out soon. No idea if it's going to be any good. I'm going to scroll down and see if it's this month.
I haven't even watched their current Lord of the Rings offering. I don't have Amazon Prime.
So. Oh, do they have a current thing that I forgot about?
I thought they were doing a Lord of the Rings thing.
I don't think
years ago.
I don't think it's out yet, and I think it's the same. I think we're talking about the same thing.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So yeah, I'm not hitting it. I'm gonna have to do a search over here like this. Yeah. But I'm kind of excited for it, even though I might be setting myself up for disappointment.
I mean that happens. I mean, if you're kind of wanting to do something, doing the prequels only, so like Unfinished Tales and the
Silmarillion, yeah. I think that's. I
or
think
like
a lot of it's
or like the stuff that Chris Tolkien put out? Question marks.
Here we go.
We have a whole season of Tom Bombadillo.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I'm making that up. Not a source. Do not quote me.
Yeah, there's too much reading on this, so I'm not going to read all of this.
Yeah.
But the production value looks really good from the little clip that they had posted. So I'm and having played a whole year now of D&D, I'm in the mood to watch some new fantasy stuff. So, and they're doing Willow. They're remaking. I don't know if it's so much a remake, but they got the same actor, Warwick. Was it Daniel Warwick, or I can't remember his first name now. But he played Willow in the movie.
So the creation of the Rings of Power, and then of course the binding and the fall of Numenor. Okay.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Hey everybody, I really fell in love with Tolkien when I was like 10 years old. So I'm not like a scholar or anything, but I got some knowledge. That's cool.
I got it backwards. It's Warwick Davis, not Davis Warwick. So yeah, the series I think is going to be like more of a sequel or a follow-up, because since he's in it and obviously as an actor he's
Brent
older.
Says sequel, yeah,
that makes sense. But
the Further Adventures of Willow, his fat cash payout from this first adventure finally ran out. He needs to re-up.
Oh, Star Wars stopped paying off.
I respect that, dude. Go out there and adventure again.
He no longer can make cameos in Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
So
get the band back together. So, is Val Kilmer back on as being not quite so mad old Mardigan?
That I would doubt, but
come on, Val, you're not doing anything worth a while. Come on,
right.
Please do it. I don't even know what he's doing these days. I'm just making that up.
Oh, those are video games. Okay, scroll back up here.
No Val, says
no
Brent.
Val. Figures.
What's he doing?
He apparently was successful enough he doesn't have to make another movie.
Whatever. Lies.
Oh, Westworld is returning for a 4th season.
Oh, cool. I've only seen like the first episode of that, but it was good.
The 3rd season could stand alone. Is really interesting what they ended up doing with
Downer Brent. I was thinking he was just being like whatever, but yeah, throat cancer.
No.
Yeah, that'll fair.
Yeah.
I take back bad stuff I said about you, Val Kilmer.
That's good, because otherwise, he'd been heartbroken over that. But
I'm
yeah,
just, just putting that out there. No need to be a jerk if you don't need to be.
that's right. And I'm looking forward to the next season of Umbrella Academy, which comes out this month.
I've never watched that either.
Oh wow, that's one of those where I had watched it and knew it was inspired from a comic book, and went back and read the comic, and went, "Wow, this is not a great comic," and there's a lot of really drastic changes. I think I'll just stick with the TV show for now.
Right. That's cool. Yeah, the kiddo and I, we started watching Dragon Prince, and before that, we watched the Samurai Rabbit Usagi Chronicles, which just made me like think, you know what? I've got like a box of Usagi Yojimbo comics in the crawl space. I should just pull those out, reread them, and hand them off to my kid. Tell her don't color them, and just be that.
I saw that it existed, but the animation art looked bad to me, and I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange. They make choices. It's consistent. It's not bad. The animation itself is a little bit stilted. Honestly, just watching it made me want to reread Usagi Yojimbo. There's a bunch of flashbacks to Miyamoto Usagi, and I'm like, yes, more of this. And
so the writing's good. It follows the comic?
I wouldn't go. Oh. No. It is, the main character is a direct line descendant of Miyamoto Usagi.
Okay.
And so Miyamoto Usagi was like 1,000 years ago and stuff, and so things are more modern, though. It's still, it's kind of like Legend of Korra, but a little bit more cyber. Where it's sort of like, oh, well, we're Westerners making an Eastern thing, so naturally we're going to sit here and say that the Western style city and technological stuff is going to be the norm because that's what we actually know, even though that's not necessarily the case, and we can't really think outside of that purview. So, but I liked it. Nova really liked it. Just like we both really like Legend of Korra. I don't like those aspects of it, but I think the story is really good. I just had more time to tell it.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan and Mandalorian. Yeah, I mean, those could be cool. I still haven't watched. I don't watch a lot of stuff, so I still haven't watched Jake the Muss in Boba Fett and all that. Though I like Jake the Muss, so whatever his stage name is now used to be Jake the Muss. The guy who played Jango Fett.
Yeah. I watched all but the last episode of Fett because I was I think it was D&D night, and the family went ahead and watched it without me, and I just haven't gotten around to watching it because it threw me out of my rhythm.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing D&D.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Mandalorian, I really enjoyed, and yeah,
Mando was pretty cool.
What they do with that.
Very Western, very Lone Wolf and Cub, which I dig Lone Wolf and Cub.
Mm-hmm.
Some would say I like it the most. So,
scrolling through here, in June 8th, is that going to be in theaters? Miss Marvel, Phase 4 of MCU continues with Disney Plus. Okay.
Yeah, I skipped tons of MCU stuff. I haven't even seen the. I like Brie Larson. I've seen her in a couple things, but I still haven't watched.
This is actually not Captain Marvel. It's Miss Marvel. The played by Kamala Khan, a 16-year-old Pakistani and American girl.
Okay.
So, yeah, and of course, all the white privileged folks are going to come out and go, why are they giving a girl of color a superhero role?
Yeah, you know what, anti-fans, you know where to stick it. You already do. Whatever.
Because we need another white hero. Yeah.
So just anti-fans just running their grift. I mean, we can post up some links on the Facebook of people who expose their grift all the time. And just keep on becoming the same idiots, paying them money, whatever. They find this, whatever. Oh no, they're gonna post bad, mean things about me. Whatever will I do?
That's some deep diving if they're gonna find us.
Show up on my doorstep and fight me, and you'll see what happens.
It might increase our views if people start complaining about us.
I'll be like, dude, I gotta take my kid to daycare. So this is going to be quick.
Video game stuff. It looks like for PS4 and 5 and Xbox One and Series and Switch, they're going to do a Shadowrun trilogy.
Like a
So
new one or republishing the old stuff?
see, now available for consoles. PC game trilogy is about a group of hard-boiled vigilantes fighting against the corporations. Blah 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 blah. It I can't click on it. It just says that June 21st Shadowrun trilogy. I'm wondering if were there 3 Shadowrun games already? And
I mean, there's been plenty of Shadowrun games over the years, but several years ago they put out kind of a return to form. I think it was isometric view role playing. And at the same time they were doing that, Shadowrun Returns, they also did like a first person shooter Shadowrun game, which was not good.
no,
And then they also did like I know there was at least one expansion to the Shadowrun Returns. So
this says 3 cult tactical RPG games, so this must be all re-releases.
right.
So
I've heard good things. I own them. I haven't played them yet because sales.
mhm.
Right now I'm playing Nier Automata. I just beat the game. I just got the first ending, and now I get to play as one of the other characters. And honestly, I'm not as engaged because I really like watching the first storyline's main character strut. Just like I really love watching, I like watching 2B strut. I like watching Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed 2 strut. So I'm playing this other character who's got no swagger, and I'm like, come on, man, give me something here, get some swagger.
I don't. How do you spell that one? I was trying to look it up.
Nier Automata, NIER Automata, AUTOMATA. It's a cool game. I played the remake of the original Nier Replicant a few months ago. That was really cool, and definitely things are not what they seem.
Oh, I've seen that character like in
Cosplayed.
Cosplayed and such. So
2B is cool. It was a great cosplay. I've seen that a few times. And no, it's a cool game. And I mean, of course, your mileage may vary.
Yeah,
but I really like it.
I've recently relocated my Xbox 360 and have been playing games. And back when Magic the Gathering from 2012 up through 2016, they were releasing each year a version of their game on Xbox.
Those are the Planeswalkers.
Yeah, so I've been replaying those, and some of them pretty good. They did an arch enemy version too, where you can play as the arch enemy in it, which is one of my favorite formats. And so yeah, I've been replaying those. Some of them, the problem was you had like 60 cards in your deck, and then you would unlock cards as a sideboard that could only be added or removed from the pre-made deck. So you couldn't pull out their crap cards and put in your new cards, which all the other versions of the game did that. And the latest one that they did a few years back for Amaket and the other part of that block, you had 100% control over your deck building. So whatever cards you had, you could build it however you wanted, which is the way it should be. So I think you muted yourself. Not talking.
Hello.
There it goes.
Hello. Okay.
So that was weird. Does it trigger?
Yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
it just must have not read it. And I was going to say that after 9:30, we should probably do sponsors, man.
Yeah, it actually had it loaded up right here. Here we go. Yeah, because our sponsors are not Wizards of the Coast, unfortunately. All right. Is it under this? I thought I had it, and then all of it whoa, it went away. It was like right there.
Comedy.
It is.
Geek Tank.
Oh, here we go. I got it. All right, here we go. Geek Tank has been sponsored by Kieran Games, Geekway Homes, and your mom. So, but Kieran Games sells Magic the Gathering cards, so in a roundabout way, it connects.
Still counts.
Oh, speaking of a little random thing that I'd found out, since I've been getting back into Magic, I've been, of course, seeking out some stuff and buying it. I noticed that they did these really interesting gift bundles for Crimson Vow, and since the vampire aspect of Magic is one of my favorites, I'm like, cool. I think I'd like to pick that up because the box art's really cool. Having the extra fancy die with it's really cool, and I found a really good deal for them, or so I thought, from GameStop. Normally they're like $45. GameStop was selling it for around like 35. And then I noticed in the comments there were people saying that the boxes had been opened and resealed, and the packs had been opened and resealed. And I'm like, what? And so I'm like, well, now I don't want to order it online because I won't know until it's too late. I found a GameStop that said they had it. I went in, looked at it. The shrink wrap was really baggy around it, like it had clearly been opened and resealed. So I pointed it out to the manager, and I'm like, I'm not buying this. You might want to pull it from the shelf. And of course they didn't, and I left. But something to be aware of if you're getting into Magic. Look into the stuff about how to properly buy cards and not get ripped off, because people are opening up product and resealing it and then selling it again.
Yeah, I'm speaking of Crimson Vow. I want to get all those Dracula treatments that they did. I did spend money on the direct sales thing to get the treatments that I could only get that way, and the rest of them are available in packs and stuff. So I should probably start acquiring those while they're still in print.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's so that was disheartening. And I know that they were back before they were doing the resealing stuff. There were places that would figure out which of the booster packs in the box were the most likely to be the ones that were valuable by figuring out the algorithm in the box.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
you can totally look up videos on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they would open up the stores would open up the boosters, pull out the likely expensive boosters, and just sell the other ones. So if you're going to buy booster packs, buy it from a reputable game store that you can trust, or make sure it's a sealed booster box that they open up in front of you, and then you can pull out your own packs.
Yeah.
And speaking of Magic, I don't know when we're going to do this and when it's going to air, but I'd come up with an idea that Alex and Guy were into, and we're going to do like a Magic special where we go back and look at each of the special abilities released in each set. Those of you familiar with Magic the Gathering, it's I guess I should say, for those of you not familiar with Magic the Gathering, it's a collectible card game, and in the card game you're like a wizard casting spells, and the cards are your spells, and they can take the form of summoning creatures or throwing direct damage at people or doing all kinds of crazy stuff to mess with the rules. And each set, the creatures will be given some kind of special thing. And in the early days it was like flying or island walk or land walk, I guess would be a way to put it. So we're going to start with set one with each episode, look at a different set and talk about those special abilities of each of the set that creatures get. I need to come up with a fancy, catchy name for it.
I got nothing.
Yeah, well, we got time. Because it's one of those things I don't want to necessarily do live. Yeah, Trample. Trample's a classic. And then mix that with some Death Touch. You got Trample Death Touch.
Yeah, Trample Death Touch, good.
Yeah. We are past the half-hour mark. We're going into the last 20 minutes of our nighttime show. Whee!
Cool.
All right. So I guess we could talk about Guy in a roundabout way, because James talked to me about the game Saturday night.
Okay.
About the whole I assume you were part of the original conversation that I wasn't part of, about how it bogged down a bit.
About how things bogged down. Not really. I wasn't really part of that. Like, honestly, so in the game we're in right now, we're doing basically a dungeon crawl.
I think my computer's shutting down. I'll be back. It looks like it's going to blow up on me. But
you're freezing up.
Yeah, you continue. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, all right, time to improv some stuff. No, so right now we're doing D&D. It's great. But we are doing a dungeon crawl, and honestly, if I want to do a dungeon crawl, then I want to do it. I like. So obviously, interacting with people and role playing and stuff is something that computer games generally don't do that well. So I like to save my table time for that. If I want to do a dungeon crawl, I'm going to probably just play a video game, because video games are great at dungeon crawls. I'll play Diablo or Path of Exile or something. I don't need that around the table, but some of our players really like that, and so we're doing that, and it's totally cool. I mean, it doesn't always have to be about the stuff only I like, so I get that. And yeah, just sort of hanging out now. Apparently, it's just me. Da, 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 da. But yeah, so I'm not sure Troy was mentioning something that was bogging down. I guess I'm prefacing my talk about I don't really do the dungeon crawl thing around the tabletop because I was not involved in that conversation. People started talking about rules and stuff, and I just talked to another person in our group who is more into the role playing aspect, and we just hung out in character, which is fun. But we would it'd be funny to do some kind of bottle episodes, like non-canon episodes, like the anime-esque bathhouse or hot spring episode, or you time travel and all your D&D characters are at a Renaissance festival now. What do you do? And my character's like, I'm going to go hang out with the people who want to go dancing because having worked a Renaissance festival, they're probably going to go to the Goth Industrial Club. And that way, my character can pick up some belly dancing moves, which would be totally cool. Yes, I agree with you, Brent. It is not that much fun for me either because it's cumbersome and slow, and lots of people don't know what they want to do, and the situation is always changing, so they want to change up things that they want to do. So combat takes forever. Where if I'm playing a Mamorpaga or something else, I just click to make something happen. So, yeah. I'm also getting Discorded, which is cool. Stuff about our D&D characters, stories that we've been doing. And been fun. Deep backstories, lots of writing. I don't know. I guess now I'm in a conversation with Brent. So, yeah. Or like one time, so speaking of like those computer games, my wife and I were playing Neverwinter Nights, and we were playing evil characters, and we got to the point where the only we're just being stupid. So for how far we can do this, we got to the point where the every NPC that was not connected to like a storyline thing or a quest giving thing would just attack us on sight. So we're talking to the person at the temple, and all the nurses are coming up to attack us. While we're trying to just pick up a quest or turn in a quest. It was pretty funny. And that all happened, like, I'm sure it was like, some meters in the background were raising and lowering. But it's like we had some bad guy who we had to fight. And then, like, he does the whole thing of, like, no, you should spare me. And, of course, even as a good character, you'd be like, no, you're a bad guy, and kill him. And we just murdered him without doing that. We're just like, we're just going to attack him some more while he's sitting there pleading for mercy. And that tripped us to the everybody's attacking us on sight. Oh yeah, combat's. I mean, it's always an abstract, and it's like it's a 6-second round. But yeah, a combat can last like literally a minute, and it takes like an hour and a half to actually play through. Oh yeah, unwritten rules in games like that. Yeah, it reminds me of like things like you can't. Yeah, fun times. Like the what is like you can't tell. Like if you do a one of those, I forget the name of the spell, but like the one that's like you make them do a one-word thing. Most people say, fall or run or something like that. Then it's like philosophize. That's what you're doing now.
Hey,
it's Troy.
did you get my text?
Oh, I didn't know. My phone did not give me a text
okay.
from you.
It decided not only to restart, but to update the firmware before.
I just got your texts.
Okay. So it took me longer than I was expecting it to because the computer's like, by the way, since you're shutting down, let's do this thing too.
No.
All right. I'm going to catch up on what, here we go. Never use Fireball. Yeah, okay. Not a problem if you don't have it. Yeah. So, how far did you get? I guess. What was the last part?
I was talking about. We did talk about a little bit how like I was just like Brent and I were having a conversation now, but about how in combat it just takes a long time, and a lot of times people like things are dynamic, so people are like, we got to change our minds about what we want to do now, use a different power I was going to, and yada yada. But I was also saying it's like if I want to do a dungeon crawl, I'll play like Diablo or Path of Exile or something. I'm not going to bother doing it on the tabletop because
there it goes. Okay.
It's the tabletop is for interacting with people and the world and doing interesting things, not just do I hit, do I miss, have I been hit, have I been missed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, Yeah, so the thing that James was specifically referring to with me was we got into a whole thing where guy just used the wrong terminology, and I wasn't fast enough to stop myself from trying to correct Guy
Oh yeah,
because he was trying to give the villain two bonus actions, and as we all know, Guy's not the best at rules,
yeah. Hmm.
and I was just wanting to. Part of me was like, "Hey, I think he's making a mistake, and he doesn't realize it." When really, the other part of my brain should have said, "It doesn't matter. He has how this wants he wants it to go, and you're just stalling, and you need to let it go where it's going." And uh, so I told James, yeah, well, once I realized that what I had gotten into, I wanted out of it as fast as possible. So, but yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
combat should be fast.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I mean, unless something needs to be slow, things should just be pretty quick.
Hmm.
Um,
But
but
yeah,
sorry, I was getting notes on my most recent piece for the D&D game.
oh cool.
Um,
Yeah, I'm going to be reading that next.
excellent.
You can stick
And
around
then
if you want while I read it.
I will do so.
Cool.
But no, I was also saying it's like, I'm quoting things all the time, whether or not people have read it or not. And there's a great line from one of my favorite authors, and I've broken it out with my partner in crime is Guy's wife. We are the two super role playing characters, and the line is, "This conversation has already started, and I'm already bored with it." Or it has just started. I'm already bored with it. So it's like people start talking about rules. I'm like, that's nice.
Hmm.
Wall goes up. I'm really good at ignoring things. Um, I'm the eldest of four kids that I was raised in a family. Eldest with three other kids that I was raised with, and I'm 7 years older than the next one. So I'm really good at ignoring stuff that I don't care about.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I wasn't part of that conversation. There have been other conversations that like after game was a few nights ago, like something started up, and I was like, huh, yeah, I'm already bored with this. Let's sit somewhere else and talk about stuff that's interesting. And so we did. And then we saw Anna suffering at the table. I'm like, hey Anna, you seem to be not having a good time. You should come to where the good conversation is. She's like, yes, please.
Yeah, no, I just need to remind myself that it's a roller coaster ride and to stop trying to derail the roller coaster.
Right,
Yeah, just put my arms up and enjoy the ride.
right. Yeah, yeah. My thing is that I need to work on. I mean, oftentimes my affect is unintentionally disrespectful. So I'm if I have something that needs to come up, then I am working on bringing it up in a more respectful way.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, well, I intentionally did not read anything on Border Peaks because I knew we were going to play it,
Hmm.
and I knew that its origins was mostly dungeon crawl stuff,
Hmm.
and I'm trusting and hoping that Guy doesn't follow it to the letter and makes it less dungeon crawly. But
Hmm. Hmm.
but
He
we'll
says
see.
that he has done that, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
No worries. Documentary on drive-ins. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. I hear the new Top Gun movie's cool. I've not seen it.
I didn't even realize any drive-ins were still functioning.
I,
So I saw the Thing as a kid at the drive-in,
oh wow.
but the damage had already been done, so there was no more damage to be done. Watching it had no trauma on me whatsoever.
Right.
Since I saw Jaws at 6 years old in the theater.
Right. Thing is way better.
Oh, way better.
That movie's so good.
But worst movie I saw at a drive-in theater was the Avengers, not Marvel, the Avengers, but the horrible attempt to remake the old awesome British TV show, The Avengers, with Uma
Yeah.
Thurman and I think it was Ray Fiennes.
Yeah, I think so.
But it was a really bad movie for someone who really enjoyed the TV show. I don't know
Oh,
how bad it was for somebody who never saw the TV show.
right. Huh.
But that was the one right off of Santa Fe and Hampton when that one existed.
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
Cool.
So yeah. I'm not sure the connection between Bachelor Party and Top Gun is Tom Cruise in both of them. I don't know.
Beats me.
I feel like Bachelor Party, if I'm remembering right, was Tom Hanks. But
I don't know.
we're getting back into the watching HBO on TV
Right?
years. Let's see other D&D stuff. So yeah, I guess there's some stuff that I could talk to you after the show about.
Well, yes, you said you were going to proofread my thing, and also because it's got. So in the game we're playing, I'm a player character, but I also have a character who's an NPC that both Troy and I make decisions for, which is connected to my character. So this is a backstory stuff. So I want to make sure that I hit those character notes well.
Yeah, and this is like high detailed backstory stuff. So it's very in depth.
Yeah, it's great.
Yep, Tom Hanks, cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure how we went from Top Gun to Bachelor Party, so that's why I was wondering that. But well, we need to switch out Tom Hanks with more Tom Cruise movies and have Tom Hanks in Mission Impossible.
Don't think they'll do as well.
I don't. Well, I'd watch them. I thought that would help with let's see Marvel movies that you mentioned. You haven't seen a lot of those. I recently finally got to see the new Spider-Man movie, where with the multiverse stuff.
Mm-hmm. You mean Enter the Spider-Verse?
That's the good one.
That is the best Spider-Man movie,
right.
As far as I'm concerned.
This was the live action attempt to do that, but not nearly as well. It had its fun moments, but it wasn't Into the Spider-Verse, but it was enough like Into the Spider-Verse. I kept thinking this isn't Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh no. Is a D&D and Mission Impossible spinoff? Yeah, just have a bunch of that would be
that'd be
the all rogue game. All rogues, all heists.
There was a point in our Earth Dawn game where we were the Mission Impossible team.
We were.
So
absolutely. Yeah, the game. And it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then because you said you wanted to do a heist.
Yep. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know how good it is, but I have the pre-written Dragon Heist.
Okay.
And Dragon's the slang used in Waterdeep for gold.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not actually well, it could be, but as far as I know, it's not actually trying to steal a dragon.
I'm gonna steal this dragon.
I'm gonna steal
this dragon.
That's gonna go well.
Put it on eBay. But
you guys might want to make different characters for this adventure.
Right. Yeah. But no, because I was kind of thinking about doing a heist, guest jamming and doing a heist.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but you said I have a heist in the works. I'm like, well, see how good it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm also wondering now, I didn't realize how long of a commitment I was getting into when I agreed for Guy to do Borderland or Border Peaks.
Barrier Peaks.
Barrier Peaks. I'll get it right eventually. When we're done with it, I'll get it right.
Oh, Troy, you're so optimistic. You're not going to get it right.
Yeah, we're not going to get done with this one. That's. But yeah, so I might need to reassess the amount of time guest GMs get, because I would like to keep us on a schedule of getting through with this, what I visualize as the story, because this isn't supposed to be an ongoing TV series that just continues until we get canceled.
Yeah.
There is a beginning, middle, and end, and I want to hit all of those before before someone in our group who doesn't have kids has kids. Type timelines.
That's funny. Campaign babies include.
Yes. I'd run a wizard rogue.
Arcane trickster or something, or multi-class.
Yeah, then you wouldn't have to do the intelligence thing. You could just go off of the. Well, arcane trickster does use intelligence.
Those are intelligence-based casters.
So you'd still want to do that, yeah.
But no, it's all good.
Yeah,
put those stuff in there.
Well,
Fun times.
Supposedly, we will have Guy next week, but And just like this week, I don't think we're going to
Well,
know.
also, I think isn't next week their guest coming?
Oh, that
So
might put a wrinkle in his plans to be
yeah,
on the show.
I'm not sure because they are having mother-in-law staying with them,
Mhm.
and they may not be able to do anything else except mother-in-law.
Yeah, I'm still in town at that point, so I will definitely be on. And even when I'm not in town, I can attempt to try to be on the show.
Yeah, I don't have anything planned, so I should be here.
Well, cool. Well, for the Donald and Brent who are watching us, do you have any topics you'd like us to cover next week? And Alex and I can mull it over. Open to suggestions. I'm glad you're still here, Brent, and we'll be here for the show. Put on the wrong glasses, and they're all smudged now. I've got my multifunctional glasses and my sitting at the computer glasses. So there we go. Let's see. If we're not going to have Guy here, we should consider topics that he wouldn't even give a crap about. And then that way he won't care that he's missing it. Hot chicks and space movies. That's probably a Guy topic.
Cosplayers doing OnlyFans. Well, I don't do OnlyFans.
I don't know if I want to do any research into that.
Yeah.
Um,
Get a bad search history.
Yeah, I know of the existence of OnlyFans, but I have never been there.
Yeah. You sit there like, since we're after, maybe because these are talks just after dark now.
After dark now. Yeah, they are after dark topics.
We can be like,
bad B-rated movies. What about bad?
I don't know. I don't know if I really want to get into this that much because I don't know how much I want to share about my proclivities.
Oh, huh?
Honestly.
Yeah, fair. Well, we'll figure it out. Maybe
Figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. And I might, if I can confirm from Guy that he won't be here, I can also see if we can't pull in one of our special guests because B Dan actually has been on the show a couple of times and enjoys it, but he hasn't been on the show with yourself. So
That's
it might
true.
be kind of cool to pull him in, and we'll do a whole Earth Dawn talk.
And it's been like a red letter kind of. I mean, it's like I said, my week's been great. My months have been great. I am great.
Nice.
But being able to see B-Dan like 2 weekends in a row, that has not happened since last time I was gaming with him, which is always really cool, just to hang and shoot the shit.
Yeah. Might have to shoot an invitation out to him and see if he wants to come on the show then.
Cool, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Brent. Thank you, Donald, for being here. And thank you to those who caught the show not live and took the time to watch this. We will social differences in the 1930s German film. Yeah. You're giving us homework. That's
Boo.
I just want to automatically know the topic. So, but yeah, we'll consider this. Yeah, we can just make Guy mad and we'll just talk about NASA the whole time he's not here and get everything wrong.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right.
Do it.
But yeah, we will see you the same time, 9 p.m. Rocky Mountain Standard Time next Monday. Until then, I've been Troy.
And I've been Alex.
And this has been Rocky Mountain Geek Tank.